All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we are tackling a hidden problem, one that might be quietly draining your potential without you even realizing it. We live in a world where our screens offer this literally endless buffet of content, right? But we need to unpack the actual real-world toll that all this endless scrolling and specifically adult content takes on our daily lives. And honestly, more importantly than that, we're going to outline exactly how you can reclaim all of that lost energy.
So I really want you to take a second and honestly evaluate the time you spend staring at your phone or your computer. Are you genuinely entertaining yourself, like taking a well-deserved break? Or are you actually just distracting yourself from the things you really want to achieve? It's tough, but we have to look in the mirror and ask if our screen habits are serving our ambitions or if they're just silently sabotaging them. It's kind of a subtle difference, but recognizing it, that is absolutely step one toward real growth.
It's really easy to think of our private digital habits as existing in this little vacuum. We tell ourselves, oh, it's just a quick click, right? Just some harmless entertainment to pass the time. But here's the thing. Endless scrolling and porn, they're incredibly deceptive. They might look totally harmless on the surface, but this kind of endless consumption acts like a quiet leak in your mental energy tank. It completely hijacks your brain's dopamine reward system, and it trains you to constantly seek out instant gratification without putting in any actual effort.
And the crazy part is, this collateral damage doesn't just stay trapped inside your device. It spills over and hits three very specific, real-world areas of your life: your focus, your motivation, and your real-life relationships. Think about that for a second. Those are basically the three foundational pillars you need to build any kind of successful life. When your brain gets used to this constant high-speed drip of dopamine, your ability to concentrate on those difficult, slow-burning tasks just completely erodes. Your inner drive, that spark that gets you up to chase your goals, gets totally pacified. And worst of all, your capacity to deeply connect with the actual people right in front of you, it really starts to fade.
There is a massive conflict happening here. On one side, you've got these wildly unrealistic expectations generated by hours spent watching curated fantasy content. And then on the other side, you have real-life relationships, which, let's be honest, require patience, vulnerability, and a ton of genuine effort. When you train your brain to expect the instant, perfectly tailored gratification of a digital fantasy, the beautiful, complex, messy reality of human connection suddenly feels way too difficult, or even boring. That constant consumption doesn't just pass the time, it is actively sabotaging your ability to form real connections.
Okay, but here is where we pivot. And honestly, this is where it gets incredibly exciting. Instead of just dwelling on the problem, we've got a highly empowering solution. Use that energy. Think about it. The hours you spend endlessly scrolling, that is raw, untapped energy. It's intense focus that's just being misdirected into a digital void. Just imagine, if you took even a fraction of that mental stamina you use to mindlessly browse and physically redirected it into your actual life. The potential for transformation there is just massive.
So how do we actually do this? How do we redirect that wasted online energy into tangible self-improvement? Well, it really comes down to a super concrete three-step action plan. Number one, build skills. Take that reclaimed screen time and, learn to code, pick up a new language, master a trade. Number two, improve your health. Swap that cheap dopamine hit from an endless feed for the real, sustained endorphin rush of a workout. And three, work towards your goals. Step by step, apply that newly restored focus directly to your ambitions. It's literally a blueprint for taking your power back from your devices.
And doing this means we kind of have to redefine what winning actually looks like, because real success, it comes from discipline, confidence, and self-control. It absolutely does not come from endless scrolling. Think about it. When you practice self-control by literally just putting the phone down, you're building discipline. And when you build discipline by actively working on your skills and your health, you naturally generate this deep, unshakable confidence. You're shifting your focus completely away from those cheap, highly stimulating digital habits and steering it right toward true inner strength.
So let me ask you this directly, and really think about it. What is your future worth? Picture the person you want to be in 5, 10, or maybe 20 years. Is that future version of yourself really worth less than the temporary artificial entertainment you're getting from staring at a screen today? I don't think so. Our future is vastly more important than a fleeting moment of digital distraction. Every single time you lose an hour to an endless feed or adult content, you are literally borrowing time and motivation against your own future success.
And that brings us to a really stark, simple binary choice. Choose growth over distraction. You just can't have both at the same time. Every single day, you're faced with a series of micro-decisions. Are you going to choose the cheap dopamine of endless scrolling and fantasy content, or are you going to choose the sometimes difficult but infinitely more rewarding path of real-world growth? The reality here is absolute. True satisfaction only happens when you actively choose growth.
Which leaves us with this final, vital question to close out our explainer today. What will you choose the next time you pick up your phone? Because let's be real, that moment is coming, probably in the next few minutes. Will you just fall right back into the habit of distraction, or will you remember this framework? Will you protect your focus, your motivation, and your relationships? The path to real growth is waiting right there, beyond the screen. The choice ultimately is entirely yours.